Joint and muscular movement of a free throw. A free throw, there is no run up allowed, and the shot is taken from a fixed position. During the first stage, players often bounce their ball to prepare for the throw. When bouncing a basketball, the joints used are the elbow joints and the wrist joints. In the elbow joint, the most prominent movement is in the synovial hinge, and the wrist joint, the cardiocarpal joints, which is located at the radius of the bone of the forearm where it meets the first row of carpal bones. When bouncing the ball towards the ground, the joint's action occurring in the elbow is extension. The same type of joint action is occurring in the wrist joint. When the ball is traveling back after the initial bounce, the elbow and wrist perform a flexion, which decreases the angles of the bones. The muscle used when bouncing the ball are your triceps, biceps, and forearm muscles. The triceps especially contracts the most when bouncing the ball, which makes this the agonist muscle in this movement, and the bicep and forearm the antagonist. This is a type of isotonic contractions, and the muscle involved constantly change from concentric to eccentric contractions. To gain momentum for the ball to be thrown into the hoop, players use their lower body to do this. The main joints involved are the knee, hip, and ankle joints. As the body descends, the hips and knees undergoes flexion and the ankle extends, which dorsiflexes. The muscle used during these actions are the quads, hamstrings, and the glutes. When lowering the body, the muscle contracts eccentrically. Returning to vertical contracts the muscle concentrically, and the hips and knees undergo extension, while the ankle plantar flexion. The antagonist muscle here is the hamstrings and glutes. The agonist muscle here is the quads. During this time, the ball is held in a fixed position, which is an example of isometric contraction. The bicep, triceps, and forearm muscles remain contracted without any movement. During the upward motion of the lower body, the arm holding the ball raises the ball above the head into a shooting form. The shoulder undergoes extension, and the muscle around the shoulder joints are undergoing an isotonic concentric contraction. The same type of movement in the elbow and wrist joint can be seen when shooting the ball. Both the elbow and wrist joint extend when the player is about to release the ball after the shooting form. The bicep muscle produces an eccentric contraction and the tricep produces a concentric contraction. Both are examples of isotonic contractions. The bicep and triceps are the agonist muscle in this movement, and the tricep is the antagonist. This overall completes the joints and muscular movement of a free throw.